Hello, and welcome to the show. This is not a review, this is a vlog of, well, you can tell from the title. Where is Disney going? It's an odd one. It's an odd one, because someone asked me this recently. Where is Disney going? I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're going. I know they're not going anywhere good right now. Um, it's an odd one to answer. It's an odd one to answer as a paragraph of words, but as a video, the concept's a little bit more easier. A little more easier to follow. Disney, I don't even know where to begin. It's hard to even begin where Disney is going. One of our followers, our followers, one of my followers, I'm gonna say, one of my followers on Media Collective. You know Media Collective? Media Collective is the site where I started up, where I met all my friends who know about the channel and everything else. They're doing everything they can at the minute in time. I know some people, but I digress. That's where I get all these stuff from. I hardly get anything from YouTube. It's crazy, but on Media Collective, I've got people there, and that's the main fan base. YouTube's just here as a side thing, really. But I want it to become something main, so I start getting paid for it. That's not about the money. Ugh, scrap that. Someone came up to me, not came up to me, but well, yeah, okay. Someone asked me in probably the most basic, straightforward way. They said, "Do you think Disney's ever going to run out of money?" And I just said the simple answer of no. But I'm now going to analyze that no in further detail. Will Disney ever run out of money? And the answer is no. It probably won't. Long time ago, someone said Walt Disney would roll in his grave. I don't know what they were going on about back then. But there's some stuff now that they're doing that's not what he wanted. Not rolling in grave, really. I just think, there's some things that shouldn't be happening. Disney creators, well, Disney created Disney, Disney created Disney to allow our imaginations to see things and open our imaginations. He was the first real person to do that. The animations he did, the live action stuff was absolutely brilliant. Superb. Over the years that I've been growing up, I'm 21 years old, right? So these are the things that you back up to the information of tides and stuff, okay? I think the very first film I saw was, in fact, no, it was the very first. The very first Disney film I ever saw was Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was the very first thing I ever saw. Now, the Snow White, and then I think I saw Jungle Book, and I think after that it was The Lion King, and then after that Pixar emerged. And I grew up at the time of the birth of Pixar, which is an odd thing. There's loads of people say, "Oh, I was born in that era." Well, you weren't, were you? Because you weren't born when Bugs Life came out. Bugs Life, Bugs Life was the pivotal of times and everything else. Toy Story was the first one to come out. Toy Story came out first, then we had a Bugs Life, then we had Toy Story 2, and then we had the whole boomph. The whole coloscopy of boomph that came through. And I don't mean boomph as in bad, I mean boomph as in absolutely amazing stuff came through. Finding Nemo. Some people don't like Brave. I personally like Brave. Brave, the first Cars movie, is alright. It's odd. It's alright, okay? But all of these films came out. And just recently, this is the thing about the recent stuff, okay? Most recently, the biggest thing they pushed out was Frozen. Because Disney's always been about Disney princesses. They've had it from the beginning and they'll have it forever. That's the one point I'd like to point out, that they will never run out of money. Because kids, forever and ever and ever and ever, will be introduced to Disney. So that's not stoppable. The shops will keep selling the stuff. That's how they'll make the money. They'll keep selling the films will keep being bought, and you can go off to Disneyland. That's how they'll make their money. So they're never going to run out of money. Answers the question, but the analysis of it is interesting. If you look deep into the analysis of Pixar and Disney in themselves, we're noticing a trend. And it's a bad one. It's a bad trend that I didn't want to see. And it's way before Frozen. And it's something that people don't, when you look at it in massive detail, because I did this. I went into I sat with a friend of mine called Dave, a friend of mine called Ben and Glenn, and we went through everything. We went through everything. What did we go through? We went through the analyses of when did original ideas stop. It's amazing. It's amazing. So Rapunzel, which was technically Tangled, was the last originalized idea based off the original fairy tale of Rapunzel, right? That was the last original idea. The last original idea, because where did Frozen come from? Frozen came from an idea that was already in Rapunzel about, would Rapunzel have cousins or anything? And they wrote down a family tree. And in that family tree, they just happened to have Elsa and Anna sitting in the family tree. Because that's what Disney do. They create timelines so they can create new films. So Frozen was already sort of made. It was already existed. The characters already existed. They just needed to be put into a story. So the originality of Frozen degrades slightly when you find that out. Find out that they were already characters. They were already characters. When the very first book, this is Brothers Grimm, people, this is Brothers Grimm. If you go back and read the original Rapunzel, you won't find any traces of Anna and Elsa. But there's 3 books. Brothers Grimm wrote 3 books called The Timelines and Histories of the Fairy Tales. And in one of them is the timeline of Rapunzel. It's a full chapter, and it's everything about her entire family from when she was born to when she dies. And it's brilliant to read that sort of stuff. It's the same with Snow White, it's the same with... There was a one that was made fan fiction. There was a fan fiction made one for The Lion King, and that was amazing. Even though it was made by someone whose fan fiction... bloody amazing, right? But Anna and Elsa, written. Their names were written. They weren't original ideas. The original idea was the actual movie. That's the original idea that I'll clap my hands to. I'll clap my hands to. Because that is the original idea. Frozen was the original idea that girls don't need a guy to, fulfill their life and all that stuff. And that's the table turner. And then Ben said to me, after we did all the stuff with Frozen and capitalized all that and did all that stuff, he said to me, what was the next one after that? That was original. That was an original idea. And we couldn't name one. Point mentioned this is last year, 2014. Not 2015. 50. 16 now, it's 15 last year. 50. We're sitting in a meeting room thinking to ourselves, I can't think of one. Big Hero 6 wasn't an original idea. The whole film's based on a graphic novel. You can go and read the graphic novel and it's exactly the same story. It's not an original idea. Inside Out. Unfortunately, again, it's not an original idea. Inside Out is based on a book, unfortunately. So there we go. Another thing. I mean, obviously people make their own differences and things, but Inside Out follows very closely to a book. Um, I can't actually remember the name of the book. Actually, it's strange. Right, you know when things just go out your head. I can't remember its name. Oh, not even. Sorry, not just the book as well. Inside Out. It's based on other ideas that have already been used. Having things in your head that talk for you and all that stuff. Done to death. So what came after Inside Out? Nothing. Nothing's come out. There is at this minute in time a film. I've seen the film. My reviewing friends have seen the film, so we see films before everyone else does because we've got the access to do so. But it's that cradled analysis of a good dinosaur that shows where the original ideas are going, because they're just not going anywhere now. A Good Dinosaur is a terrible... It's not... Actually, sorry. Scratch that. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not a good movie. And I'm fine with that. It's odd for a reviewer to say that, because a reviewer should be, oh, like, pan, but you can't. You can't pan Disney, and there's a good reason for that. Actually, there's a very good reason for that, because Disney is Disney. They made a good bad film this time, they'll make a good one next time. If they do 10 bad films in a row, that's when they'll be starting to get worried. That's when we'll all... In fact, I mean even 5. If it's 5 or 10, one of those numbers, we will all get so worried. We'll be like, oh my god, these films are terrible. They're absolutely terrible, and hopefully they won't be. But Glenn has got a hunch that because Pixar is now 20 years old, that's how old it is. It's 20 years old. Pixar is 20 years old. The original Pixar animators are growing up. This is the thing that I don't think Disney are fully getting the handle of. The corporation of Disney, the main company heads, are planning on giving their prerogative roles to their children and to people who are in the business of money and power and but not creative arts. You've then got underneath them the people of Pixar. Pixar is Pixar. If you don't have the correct team in story or in animations, you're lost. There isn't a single day that goes by, probably in Pixar or Disney, where they're not communicating with each other, trying to figure out what is the best route to go down. But there's also another side note to this. This I'm only talking about the animated ones. You notice I've only said about the animated stuff. In 5 years' time, Star Wars will be done. Star Wars will be finished. It will be over. Star Wars will be over. Now think about that carefully. Disney's main front at this minute in time is Star Wars. It's what they're trying to push out the most. It's everywhere. It's crazy. They're pushing it out faster and faster and faster. And people are like, but wait, what? 5 years? Are you sure? Yes, 5 years. 5 years, Star Wars is over. In 5 years, Star Wars ends. Star Wars ends in 5 years. That's a terrible thing to hear as well. Star Wars will be over in 5 years. I keep repeating it, I know, but it's over in 5 years. That's their main goose. That's their main goose at the minute. Who do they have after that? This is the part that's the most interesting. They have things planned, but they've locked it away in secret. I think, and this is a big think, it's not a theory, it's not based on any science or fact, it's just a think. Based off of information we've received from Disney to Pixar, from Pixar back to Media Collective, because we've got two animators at Pixar and Media Collective. This is how big Media Collective is. We are a huge organization, but we're not an organization, but we're a huge group of people. Online, offline, we've got pilots, we've got people who are in the news media, we've got people at Pixar, we've got people at Disney, DreamWorks, we've got massive amounts of people who are into music, we've got famous people, we've got celebrities, we've got massive amounts of people on Media Collective. It's hidden away in the background. And why? Because of what it is. Media. The biggest thing, it's the biggest voice, it's the biggest everything. And what do companies like to do? Boom. Crush. I have been Peter Reviews, and I haven't reviewed anything today. I have, but I haven't at the same time. I'd like to thank you for watching this. And I hope that you watch some of my videos. Like and subscribe, please do. And I will see you guys on the next Peter Reviews. And this has been a vlog. No dissing to any of the actual, people at Pixar and everything else said. You guys are great, awesome guys. I just thought I'd speak my mind because fan 953649, codenamed David Lanslet. I took on your question. I tried to answer it to the best of my ability. Where is Disney going? I don't know. The moon, probably. So I will see you guys in the next Peter Reviews, and the next Peter Reviews, actually I can confirm this, actually. The next Peter, ooh, okay. The next review will be of a, hang on, I need to say it right, because there's two versions. Okay. My next review will be A Tuna Christmas, starring Brad Pitt and Kelowna Davis. Now, loads of people won't recognise Kelowna Davis. He's a brilliant actor. Unfortunately, he's no longer around. He was around 30 years ago, and now he's not, unfortunately. In fact, Brad Pitt wasn't around 30 years ago. It'll make sense. It's called A Tuna Christmas. It's probably one of the rarest films you can find. I'll be doing a review, and I'll also be doing a commentary over the movie, so that you guys can hear not hear me, but, it's for people who want to do that sort of stuff. So yes. So, thank you for watching. I think I already said like and subscribe. Adios, and goodbye.